Do you think capitalism survives the AI transition?
No. I mean, what's the definition of capitalism?
Strictly speaking,
Yeah.
I can give
Or
you a colloquial definition: the
yeah,
aggregation of capital to build something that is a self-sustaining economic engine.
yeah. Will AI be able to do that better than humans?
Yes.
Capitalism as it is going to be great for AIs. But how are we going to compete? Again, how do you compete with entities that are strictly smarter than you? And this is without getting to AGI or ASI or anything like that, that learn perfectly from their mistakes, never sleep. You can't tell it's an AI on the other side of the screen. I don't see how. Again, they'll figure out the micro to the macro better than we can, allocate capital better. I mean, it's like let's take a practical example you know a lot about, Tom. Launching a protein bar. you know, how long did that process take? And how long do you think it's going to take in a couple of years to do it end to end, calling all the suppliers, arranging all the contracts, etc.? It took years. Whereas you'll be able to spin up a million agents hitting the exact niche, doing A/B testing, doing all the supply contracts and other things remotely, probably within like months, And that's only because of this human bits stopping it. All the thinking that you had to do, the AI will probably do in less than a day. And so again, I think capitalism doesn't survive for humans, and the AI will accumulate more and more capital because there's no way we can outcompete them.
So, given that we are already in an environment where people are becoming increasingly violent due to the uncertainty of their economic future, I've always said that I believe in the transition there will be pockets of violence. What do you see that like? Do you see it breaking very bad? Do you see it, nah, this will be a managed transition? Like, how do you think through this problem?
Well, I mean, where have you seen instances of the nature of capital stock, social contracts, and more be displaced? You see it in things like post-World War One Germany, don't you? Whereby the economic heart of Germany was ripped out due to reparations and others, and what emerged? You have disorder, so people look for people that can bring in order. This is kind of Hayek's road to serfdom. It's the central planning thing. It's the work programs. It's the people that say, give up your liberty so I can give you comfort, so I can give you security. It's Hobbes's Leviathan, effectively. So I think that you'll get more and more people acting up. You'll see more and more people moving towards legal stuff. But we have to remember that government, and one definition of government that's very good, is the entity with the monopoly on the legitimate use of violence. And so even if people act up and they say where are our jobs? Where's the support? Ban the AI and other things like that. The power centers will be using AI to keep their capital going up. The power brokers will be the ones with the most GPUs, effectively. And that's going to cause a big disconnect in society because a private company, particularly someone like America, isn't obligated to hire anyone. Their fiduciary responsibility is to the shareholders and the owners of capital. And so it makes sense to get rid of most of the humans. Because AIs are tax deductible and humans aren't, Like AIs are more effective. So I think that you will get low-level violence. The thing that is the scariest thing is, do you get mass polarization, particularly those that are motivated by political interests
You
at a
already have
large
that.
scale? We haven't seen mass. Like, again, when we look at uprisings, civil war type things,
Like Nepal
those,
burning their own parliament or
yeah,
France rioting in the streets. And this is all yesterday.
you can go way higher than that. I used to be an emerging market hedge fund manager. I've seen proper coups and kind of other things like that. When the big power structures change, they take advantage of the people underlying. And again, that mechanism of transmission can be even better now to do this. So I think that hopefully we don't get to that point. But when the pie shrinks, because the stuff left over from the owners of the GPUs and capital is going to get smaller and smaller, people are going to compete for capital and power. And again, it's the manipulation of the masses that's the most dangerous thing, but also the discontent of the masses is It's the tinder to which the fire can be applied, right?
I think it's very optimistic of you to say low levels of violence.
I said today.
Yeah. So if you think of profit as essentially the answer to, I don't have anything else to apply my money to, will we see those kinds of profits occur in the future, or are we going to see a natural contraction of the tax basis because you'll always be able to buy more compute to make your company basically a little bit smarter? So there's now no longer that upper bound to what you would be able to intelligently spend money on.
Your comparative advantage, your capital stock, is all compute in the next few years for all knowledge-based work. And so classically it was profit because you needed profit to pay for human outcomes, because we need to have money to pay for the drink we're having or our shelter or other things. The AIs don't need that. They just need to have cash flow to fund their compute effectively. This is what I call the metabolic rift, where your marginal productivity, your comparative advantage is all compute. If we look at companies like Cursor or any of these other AI companies, they hit $100 million revenue run rate faster than anything we've seen. Anyone who's kind of involved in the startup scene has seen that. Like, this is crazy, right? Like, it used to be that I think Slack was the record holder for $100 million revenue run rate. It took them 3 years, a few years ago. Now you see companies literally hit that in 3 months. What they're playing is the Amazon game, because Amazon never made profits. Like, now they make some profit, right? But Jeff Bezos realized that if he could have customers pay on day 1 and then pay suppliers on day 60, he could generate massive amounts of cash flow that he could then use for other things. AI companies are the same. AI companies will never make a profit, so you can't even tax that. And companies that use AI, because more and more companies that become AI companies, will never have to make a profit either. They're going to play the cash flow game. They don't need to distribute. It's a land grab. Is the best use of money paying it to your shareholders as a dividend, or is it getting more compute to outcompete everybody else? And when that race starts, it doesn't slow down, because when you can have that human, that I can't tell it's a human on the other side of my Zoom, that's when it all kicks off, because it doesn't need new infrastructure, doesn't need anything to plug in. All of a sudden, you just have a bunch of amazing workers who can do just about anything. And that's like, again, probably in a year's time.
Okay, so
I think
how
profits
does
actually
your
drop.
profits will drop?
I think profits drop, revenue goes up.
Yeah. Okay, so that's my read of the situation as well. I think the tax base is going to shrink. You've already given us the math on UBI. It's not really possible. I also don't think it solves the real problem of meaning and purpose. So even if we did it, it wouldn't matter. You're still going to have all the discontent. And you may just make it possible for people to be more violent because they don't have to work, but they're still pissed off. So the thing, though, I'm wondering if you've accounted for in the mathematics is people are going to fight back. So people are not just going to take this lying down. Just look at the dock workers who have, in my opinion, very foolishly put in contracts where you cannot automate the docks, which is madness. But nonetheless, like, I get it from the perspective of all I care about is me and making sure that I've got a job. And so the bit of leverage that I have right now is that AI isn't ready to take over yet. And so I'm going to use that against you to forestall the inevitable as long as I can. For me, that just weakens us on an international stage, and people don't seem to have the game theoretic clarity to understand that, take China, they're just not going to play that game. And because Xi Jinping can force people to do whatever the hell he wants, that they will just continue to deploy. So given the likelihood of people fighting back, going for regulatory capture, essentially, how do you see that playing out?
Well, that's why I said public sector jobs are great. Unionized jobs are great. Here in the UK, we've just had 4 days of strikes because the railway workers, the tube workers, want 32-hour work weeks. I mean, don't we all, right? It's like the entire of the London kind of shut down. I think we will see more and more of this. And in the book, I discuss the Luddites, I discuss other things. They weren't wrong necessarily. And again, these are local maxima. Like, why does a dock worker care about the long term when he's worried about now, or when he can extract more? It's a question of relative power.